You've got kind of a unique ending to the season with all three in-state rivals lined up in a row, starting with Wake. How much are you guys looking forward to that challenge of three pretty emotional games down the stretch?
We're embracing that challenge as a team, but right now we just focus on Wake Forest and taking it one game at a time. We ain't looking at Duke or we ain't looking at NC State right now. We just focus on Wake Forest right now and taking it one game at a time.
No. Davion, where have you seen the most improvement offensively over the last handful of games? Where have you seen the most improvement?
I feel like we've been improving a lot tremendously, like over the year, like especially in passing game, running game. So we just taking it step by step and progressing week by week.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, Davion, to go off of that question, what do you think is different in particular about this team over the last, let's say, 4 weeks? I mean, a lot more competitive games, things like that. What do you think has changed and what do you think is different about you guys?
Nothing really different. We just kept fighting, keep swinging, and taking it one game at a time and just coming together as one more and just staying at it.
Brian?
Yeah, Davion. Michael Lombardi said yesterday you're considered the nickel back on offense, I guess like a third down back.
Yeah.
Said you're the best in pass protection. How much does your role then change week to week based on what other teams are going to be giving you?
It definitely depends on what the opposing team is doing and their game plan and how we gonna use each other. But I think it just go by the game as the game's going on.
Did you know going into the Stanford game that you might see a bigger role because of pass protection, blitz pickup, and then obviously they were trying to get you isolated on some linebackers out there in the passing game?
I was just ready for my moment right there, and it came. So.
Did you guys talk about halftime? That first drive, you caught 3 passes for 51 yards. Was that an adjustment made at halftime to see if we can get you isolated out there in the passing game?
No, the plays were just working, so we just stayed at it and kept going back at them.
Mark, you done?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Bullet, take us through the play of hurdling the guy.
Yeah.
I think there was a guy you had to make miss as soon as you called it, which that looked a little tricky there, and then you hurdle the dude. Take us through that play if you can.
I had a wheel route, but I was actually hot, and then I actually didn't see the corner. He kind of bumped my hip, and I felt it, and then when I got to 29, I was just in my mind hurdle, and then I just hurdled him.
Yeah, we know that's something you've done before, I guess, right? UNC Charlotte maybe last year, I think. I'm trying to think of the game.
Yeah.
And then the touchdown. That was a matchup on a linebacker, is that right?
Yes, 35.
Right. That's something you guys are looking to exploit there, maybe a running back on a linebacker?
Yes, definitely, especially those middle linebackers that don't really supposed to be the opposing team really don't want them outside covering like that.
Right.
So we look for matchups like that to pick on, those kind of linebackers, kind of.
Great.
Yeah, so where does that come from exactly? Because, of course, I see a bunch of photos of you actually hurrying over the guy from Charlotte. Is that something that you've always kind of had, just through your athletic ability, or did you do hurdles in high school?
No, I never did hurdles. I just tried it when I was 12 years old in Little League, and I just been doing it ever since.
Shelby?
Yeah, I guess just kind of going away from it, but a lot of the players have spoken about just the importance of Sunday night football, and I'm curious, from your perspective as one of the guys that's maybe you're not competing but you're cheering on those younger players. What's been your favorite part about that session?
My favorite part about that is seeing the younger guys, grow each week of them doing Sunday night football and them just going out there and making plays each and every Sunday when they get their chance. And some of those guys stepped up even in the games, when their number was called.
Yeah, I guess just a quick follow-up. I know that, Damon kind of started, showing those flashes before the rest of the Sunday night football basic periods. What stood out to him early on from your perspective?
What stood out to him?
Or stood out to you about him rather in maybe those developmental periods?
His explosiveness when he hit the hole.
Yeah, were there any maybe there's one Sunday night football game where you had a crazy play, anything in particular stand out?
I don't think Juju was on Sunday night. I don't know.
Okay, but like maybe in the
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan?
Davey, on being one of the few returners, man, what have you told all these new guys about what to expect in these rivalry games coming up?
They're gonna be hard fought games, and it don't matter what the record is between either team. It's just gonna be hard fought games, and the best team gonna win that week.
How much is Bill talking about coming into this final stretch here with all the state teams?
He didn't really hit on it too much, but he just said like our last stretch is like in-state teams, and it's gonna be hard fought games. But right now we just focus on Wake Forest.
Jeremiah? Yeah, David, for you guys, the running back room in particular, I mean, we've seen some games, it's, DeMond's night, sometimes it's Benjamin Hall's night. The other day was your night, just, kind of more so in the passing game. What do you think it is about this group of running backs that kind of allows for, maybe depending on what the matchup is, different guys are kind of more productive some weeks than others?
I feel like all us bring different abilities to the table, so whoever, I feel like we all just stay ready, and then when our number called, we all just make plays. So.
You talk about those different abilities. How do you think you guys kind of complement each other in that way, to where, obviously you talk about your pass ball, different things you do, you see how the mom runs, you see how Hall runs. How do you think you guys kind of complement each other in that backfield?
It go hand in hand, especially. It go hand in hand because I just go hand in hand.
Adam, do you have one?
Yeah, I did. Actually, right along the lines of what Jeremiah was saying, Bullet, is there a sense with the running backs that if you get hot during a game, they'll stay with you, the coaches will stay with you? You see what I'm saying? There have been games where you've had 2 carries, 3 carries. I think at Syracuse had 15 carries. Is that the sense that you get going into the game? If I get hot, they're going to keep feeding me, or is it something different?
I won't say it's if we get hot, they'll keep feeding me. It just be like you gotta have that stay ready mentality and go with the flow of the game. And when your number's called, that you just gotta make plays. But that goes for the whole offense. Make plays, get yards, and we'll come out victorious on it.
And I guess along those lines, I'm sure Freddie's not saying, is your game plan all right, Bullet, you're getting 12 carries, DeMond, you're getting 10 carries. There's no sort of planning out how many carries or touches a guy is going to get.
Yeah.
Joe?
I know you're really close with Jordan. He was sitting here after the last game, kind of bragging on you a little bit. Tell me, just from your perspective, what's impressed you the most about what he's been able to do, either on the field or from a leadership standpoint this season?
His leadership grown tremendously, and what I've seen most from him is his hard work that he put in the spring and the summer, and it's paying off a lot this season. And just him being a student of the game.
I would imagine that, a lot of players have spoken about how everyone came together a lot after the Clemson game. What was Jordan's role maybe in that? What were some of the things that he was saying to you guys just when everything was kind of going on around you?
Everybody was really saying that it wasn't what the opposing teams were doing. It was just self-inflicted wounds. So it wasn't really us focused on what other teams was doing to us. It was just us getting us back to what we know we was capable of, what we were seeing in practice, and us just focus on the fundamentals and playing complementary football.
Good stuff. Thanks,
Thanks, Bullet.
Bullet, thank you. Thanks, Bullet.
Tommy Anderson, South Carolina. Tyler, obviously, it's been a chaotic time over the last several months, a year or so, but you've sort of clicked for you lately. What has happened in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks where it really come together for you?
For me, it's just being consistent, getting 1% better every day. There's obviously things out of your control, whether that's losing a football game or, outside noise, but just being consistent day in and day out. I feel like just doing the same thing every day, trying to get better, and then eventually it clicked. If that makes sense. So, yeah.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, Tyler, there was a period of time last year, obviously, when you came in with that. You were one of the guys that kind of filled in for him and a few other guys. What did you learn, I guess, from that time, and how do you feel like that kind of helped you?
So what I definitely learned from Kamen being down, Kamen was a great player here, very influential to me and some of the other guys who played the position. Definitely preparation. I feel like that's one big thing Kamen taught me because he always prepared, always brought notes to meetings. So I feel like when I got in the game, I could have been more prepared, if that makes sense. So preparation is definitely something I learned from those times and just working on how I prepare for games.
Bill said that you had put on like 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of do to, improve your body in that way and get stronger.
What, could you repeat that?
Yeah, to improve your body and get stronger. I guess what were some of the things you did to kind of
Moses and the nutrition staff did a great job coming in, whether that was running bouts, doing a lot of squatting, and just focusing on my eating and, habits outside the football facility helped me put on that weight. So, yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, you guys have 20 sacks the last 4 games. That's the most in the country during that period. What do you think is working best in terms of your ability to get after the passers as a team?
The back end is doing a phenomenal job locking down receivers, so that's giving me and Melly and some of the other guys time to get back there. And just everyone doing their jobs. It's that simple, everyone doing their jobs, whether that's covering, whether that's us getting to the quarterback, whether that's linebackers getting to their drops or covering who they need to cover. So I think that's kind of what's clicked.
Yeah. Follow up on that. You come in, there's a new staff, so you've got to learn a little bit of a new scheme. They're developing you guys as players, so that takes time. Is it a comfort with what you guys are doing, like mentally with the reps and everything you do? Is it the development? Is improving your skill set? Is there an element that you think stands out in that regard, one or the other maybe?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Is it a comfort with what you guys are doing schematically? Maybe early on you were having to figure it out. Maybe you had time. Is it the personal development? All of you getting a little bit better. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of all of that. Of course, coming with a new DC, guys coming from different places, it takes time to learn the system and learn exactly your job. So I feel like once everyone got that and then we got closer as a team, I feel like that's when the defense started clicking the most.
Michael?
Tyler, you guys have kind of a unique schedule coming up with all 3 of your next games being in the state, all the Tobacco Road schools. I'm curious, as an in-state guy from Cary, how much do you look forward to these types of games where a lot of the guys on the other team, it means a lot to the fans, means a lot to the players?
Oh, yeah, it definitely means a lot to me. State came in here last year, playing their flag in the middle of our field. And, we didn't come out with the victory against Duke. And, we played Wake Forest. We played them last year. So, it's definitely a big in-state rivalry, and it means a lot to me and a lot of other guys. So I'm definitely excited and definitely looking forward to it.
Tyler, what was the process like for you deciding that you wanted to stay here? And then what were some of the conversations you had with Bill Belichick, not only about that, but then also about the added weight? Was that something that you talked to him about of wanting to do, and what were those conversations like?
So as far as gaining weight, that's kind of something I've always known I needed to do coming into college. I came in at 190 pounds playing defensive end, and you don't really hear too many guys coming in that light and playing a lot of meaningful minutes. So other coaching staff have kind of told me, okay, that's one of the main things. And what was the other part of your question?
Just the process of wanting to be here and stay here.
This is home to me. I'm from here, grew up here mostly, so I love Carolina. I love the university. It's a great degree, great football program. So, that's why I stayed.
Tyler, given all that, like how much this place means to you and playing here, how hard was it maybe just to kind of wait your turn and then contrast that with just how rewarding it's been to have this moment now?
It's definitely challenging, but that's something, you got to leave up to God, because patience is definitely something that's important when it comes to going to any level of football, whether that's going from middle school to high school to college to NFL. You're going to have guys in front of you that are older, that have been here, that have done it. So, just being patient and controlling your processes and just getting better 1% within yourself, I think that's what's very important.
And you mentioned that you were 190 pounds coming in to Chapel Hill. Like, what was the process of you gaining all that weight? And how did the UNC help you in that aspect?
Amber and her staff do a great job with, meals, making sure, okay, this is what you need to be eating, this is how much you need to be eating, this is how many calories you need to be eating. And once I really honed in, okay, I need to take shakes home, I need to, pack meals and go home and eat those when I'm bored or something. I feel like once that started to kind of click in my brain a little bit more, I think that's when the weight started to get added on, especially with the weight program also. We're running a lot in the summer, there's a lot of demand from your body, so I feel like that kind of forced me to eat a little bit more. So, yeah.
And I have another question too. In regards to your sack total, right now you have 7. Before the bye week, you didn't have any. You know, was this always something that was coming and just never really clicked? And what's kind of happened with your rise?
It's just maximizing opportunities. I feel like I've had opportunities before, you know, that bye week to, you know, get sacks, but I've really been trying to hone in and practice on, okay, maximizing my reps and maximizing the opportunities that do come to me in practice and letting that translate to the game.
Tyler, I was wondering with the run that you and Melcart have been on, has anybody given you guys a nickname?
No, not yet.
Would you have a nomination for what would be a good nickname for the defensive front, or Melcart himself because he's going crazy, or you? Like, this is, you know, it seems like there should be a nickname for this bunch.
I honestly don't have one for you right this second.
All right.
I'm gonna get back to you on that one.
Was there a particular coaching point or something highlighted on film that helped you unlock this version of yourself?
Really just effort and violence, bro. Like, if you really want it, you'll get it. So, coaches investing in me, just telling me to, you know, focus on my job and focus on making the plays that come to me. Because when you try to overcompensate and do someone else's job, you actually end up not doing your own job, and you kind of mess up the plays that come to you. So, I feel like that was kind of a main emphasis for me.
Any particular conversation about that effort and violence that you remember with either Coach Belichick?
I feel like that's kind of like the mentality around here. Like, when we want to play violent, we want to play fast. So, Coach Ty Nichols, that's my coach. He's just said, just go out there, play fast, violent, and know what you're doing and how to do it. So, I took that seriously.
Tyler, getting back to Melcart, I'm curious, as someone who sees him every day and has the insider info, what has made him so effective in the last 4 or 5 games where he can really just take over a game?
I mean, he's been probably one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent guy on the team from the offseason. And, you know, some things don't always show, like, what's going on behind closed doors, but he's been the most consistent since the offseason, in my opinion. And God's timing is God's timing, so that consistency is starting to show, and he's dominating. So I love it.
Shelby? I'm curious, just from your perspective, when we just had Coach Belichick out here talking about, you know, Veterans Day and the importance of that, his ties to that, but just what's, has he or other coaching, or the other coaches just shared with you guys kind of as the importance of the day and just kind of
Yeah, so Coach Trent, you know, he was in the military, and Coach Preef, he was in the military also, and a couple other guys on the staff. They got in front of the team and, you know, just expressed to us, like, what Veterans Day means to them, and, like, how to approach people who've been in the military on this day, and, you know, just how to show respect to people in the military, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Any more, like, current military members that came and spoke to you guys, or?
Not that I can recall.
That's what we're at.
Tyler, going back to the rivalry games here at the end of the season, Wake, Duke, State to end it, I was wondering if you felt like, you know, this sort of raises the stakes in terms of ending the season to have these, as opposed to them being spread out throughout the year, you know what I mean? Like having back to back to back. Would you say that's what it does, or how do you look at it from your perspective in terms of the stakes?
Okay, yeah, we understand it's going to be intense. It's going to be a lot of emotion in all 3 games. But we have to focus on Wake Forest right now. So that's what we're honed in on. We're focused on going out there, dominating, doing our jobs, so that then we can go into the next week and do the same thing. So, I mean, it definitely means a lot to the whole team, week in, week out. So we just got to continue to get better, have a great week of practice, and go out and dominate.
Perfect. Good stuff, Tyler.
All right.